Be teachable. Be humble. Always. Don't be afraid. Just do it and trust yourself. You'll make mistakes just like I did. You know, my first corner, I hit a tree. Because I didn't even know how to drive a sled. You know, you're going to have times that you're going to hit bumps and you're going to find, wow, this is horrible. How can I keep doing this when it's not working for me? Did I roll over the sled? Of course I rolled over the sled. I hit a couple of more trees, but I didn't quit. I broke 3 ribs while training at my ranch in Utah, 3 days prior to the race in Alaska. But this didn't stop me. So a little owie, a little hurt, that's not a reason to quit. Because folks, if you quit because you feel a little pain, what are you going to do when it gets painful? Think about it. You might hear yourself say, I can't do this. When I was out there on the trail like this and it was cold and dark, I heard Mary's voice over and over and over. Honey, you don't have to do this. You keep practicing. If you talk to someone and they say, well, I'm not interested in young living, it's okay. That's not where you stop. You keep practicing. It may not be the right time for them. I had a beautiful lady here at convention a couple days ago tell me that she got introduced to the oils years ago. And she felt kind of bad that she didn't do anything until 3 years ago. And I said, no, don't feel bad. It's the right time for you. Timing is everything. You don't quit, you don't give up. Now you're ready. You must believe in yourself. Okay, know where you're going and be ready for what's ahead. So in this case, I looked at the map, I studied the route that I was going to be racing, so I'd have a little bit of idea of the elevations and the changes, and we're out here in the Alaska bush. The whole race, not just part of it. So we went all the way down to Homer and then turned around and went all the way back, 200 miles. This is another part that's really critical. After you've studied it out and you understand where you're going and you've created your map of how you're going to build your business, make your commitment and don't doubt yourself or you will fail. And this is the thing, because I kept hearing these voices in my head. Gary, what about your heart? Gary, what about your lungs? Gary, this is crazy. You're going to be out there in the wilderness 200 miles from nowhere and there's nobody around. Do you realize what could happen? And your head will do that to you. You have to decide if you're in control or your head's in control. True or false? Okay? So if your cousin, brother, aunt, friend across the street says, you're crazy, you can't do this, you have a choice. You can either accept it or you can just say, forget it, I'm doing it anyway. You know, I had a choice. We all have choices. It's how we act upon our choices that determine whether we're successful or not. So I walked right in and I signed up. You know, if you hesitate, you'll start thinking about all the fear. You'll be thinking about the risk. You'll be thinking about, holy cow, Gary, are you stupid? You've only been on a dog sled 7 times in your life, and you're going to go run a race in a country you've never even been in. You don't even know the terrain. And you've got all of these health problems. Of course I could go that way. I signed up and I just did it. If you want to succeed, get in the race and don't look back. Okay? It doesn't matter what people tell you. You're in charge of your life. Nobody else is. And yes, that doesn't mean you can't discuss your thoughts and that with them, but ultimately it's your choice. Mary talked to me and talked to me and talked to me. And I'm sure she thought that I was 100% deaf, not just partially. Because I didn't listen to her. Honey, you don't need to do this. Honey, you could be writing a book instead of doing this. honey, do you know you could be making another form? Honey, you could do, honey. Well, she had so many honeydews. Of course I could. Was this going to do anything towards building Young Living? Nobody thought it would. This was a scary moment. And you want to know why it was a scary moment? Because the musher with a 20-year history of mushing was right in front of me, and she rolled her sled at the start. And I'm coming up there, never been on a race in my life. I've only been on a dog sled 7 times. And I thought, holy criminy, Gary, are you absolutely crazy? Here's a professional musher that just rolled her sled in the takeoff. Once you start, just keep looking forward. January 28th, 11:40 a.m., I was out of the chute. The people didn't even know me, and they were cheering and clapping and yelling. It was an exhilarating feeling. And those dogs were, they knew they had a greenhorn on the back of that sled, and they were heck bent for election to get rid of me before they got a mile down the trail. It's intimidating to start something new, not knowing what to expect. How many of you distributors have felt that? Of course, yes. Who cares? Who cares? Okay? If you want something bad enough, you go for it. You don't worry about anything else. You don't worry about it's intimidating to you. You just grab on to those bars and stay clenched into your purpose, and you just go for it. I went through this chute, as I call it, and around an S-turn, and there was a road we had to go up over, and it was frozen. I'm on the brake trying to slow these dogs down. They're so pumped up. They're so excited. They got this greenhorn on the back, and they know they're going to get rid of him. And they're booking it. And they come up, and I see this road. It's a berm like this. And I see them coming, and I'm trying to get down on that brake and slow that sled down. They hit that berm, it felt like at 100 miles an hour. And Sled and Gary was airborne for 30 feet. Oh, wow. Do you think that old heart got a workout that time? You better believe it. Now comes the time. I'm out here on my own, all alone. Going through the Alaska wilderness. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how far I am. But I've been mushing for hours and hours and hours. I looked down at my GPS and I scrubbed the frost off from it so I could see, and it said 5.9. Holy criminy. I've only gone 5.9 miles. I've been out here all day. And I only have 50 miles to go. So I'm going and going and going for another hour or so. I brush off the frost. I look at it, 6.1. I'm never going to get to that check station. I started feeling so down, so deflated, that I had been out here for hours. I didn't have a watch on. I wasn't paying attention at the time. I just saw the sun just move around and go down. And I'm still out in the middle of Alaska, nowhere. And I've only gone 6.1 miles. And I was thinking, this is impossible. I can't do this. No one told me it was going to be this difficult, as I had to get off the sled and run with the dogs up the hill because it was a little too much for this young team of puppies. They were 2-year-olds, and it was perhaps their first race. And I started up over this hill, and as I came over the hill, the sun was just going down, and at this moment I saw a man standing there with a camera. And it was John Wetton. There's only one way John could be here. The check station has got to be around the corner. Oh my goodness, felt so excited. I was just on high. I came around the corner into the check station, and folks, here's another secret for you. Achieving your first goal, if it's a star or executive or silver or whatever it is, when you achieve that goal, it gives you a certain amount of excitement inside. It charges your adrenaline. That is for the purpose of giving you that shot for the next goal. And here's the key. Always make your next goal bigger than the one you just accomplished. Okay? Please do that. So arriving at Freddy's Check Station 52 miles into the race, Saturday afternoon, January the 28th. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Because as I pulled in the check station, the officials that were there to check my time and check my dogs and make sure that I made it okay, you know, they were just making a big fuss about me arriving there. And I thought, well, this is really strange. But boy, what wonderful people. How cool is it that they're so excited about me coming in second to last? I didn't know that some of them had been placing bets I wouldn't make it. So now is the time to put my dogs down, feed them, and get ready for the night. And enjoy the 3 hours of downtime you've got, 4 hours, whatever it might be. And it takes about an hour and a half to get the dogs down, get their booties off, get them on the stake line, cook the food for them, get them fed, and you've got maybe 2 hours left, and you've got to keep in mind, you've got to get up and re-harness, re-booty, get them off the stake line, get them hitched up to your sled, and get ready to go. And that's going to take 45 minutes to an hour. So how much downtime do you have? Oh, you got an hour. Oh, this is exciting. I got an hour to go sleep. So you grab your bedroll and you go over to the check station and you find out there's a place for you to sleep. You walk into the building and there's a great big huge cat generator running. No sleep. So now it's back on the trail again. And folks, running through the night had a whole different feeling to it. What you see there is all that you see, is what's in that headlight. And it was nice if it reached the front dogs. And it was so many times that I'd be going, and I learned a little secret. When the dogs would come up to a hill, when the ears of the first dog would disappear, just like that, I called that a one-ear hill. When 2 dogs' ears were showing before they disappeared, that was a 2-ear hill. If it was 3 dogs' ears that were showing before they disappeared, that was a 3-ear hill. I learned real quick that when you came to a 1-ear hill, you got on that brake and you hung on for life. And you might as well close your eyes because it isn't going to matter. You're either going to wind upside down, wrapped around a tree, or you're going to wind up in the bottom. But when those dogs went over that hill, they'd look back at me and stick their tongue out and laugh at me. Hang on, dude, we're going for a ride. And we did. This is pulling into the next check station. Did I get tired? Yes. And when you're building a business, there may be times that you'll get tired too, and you'll want to take a rest. No, I've not slept well. Why did you ask? Well, the next morning, getting my dogs up, getting my ready to go, and folks, just as quick as I got to my sled and got the things out to give my dogs their breakfast and get them hooked off the stake line into the gang line, the storm moved in and it started to snow. And before I could get everything ready and get my clothes on to run, we had 4 inches of snow on the ground. And it was chilly. A lot of reasons to quit. Going downhill is not always easy because you don't want to run over the person in front of you, you don't want the one behind you to run over you, so you got to keep your distance. Coming into the second check station, wow, or the third check station, what a glorious experience and a feeling it was. And you know what I found out when I was in the second check station? 4 other mushers had quit because of the conditions and how harsh and hard it was, and they were seasoned mushers. You know, so sometimes a very knowledgeable person might come along and say, "You're crazy, I've done this, I've been down this trail before, and it isn't a good place to go. You know, I built multi-level company before, I had a business and I would never do it again." And folks, we have a tendency to listen to those things. Never, 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 because those are dream stealers. And that's why I made your oil blend dream catcher. You want to be grabbing dreams instead of letting somebody steal your dreams, right? And here again, this is my 3rd accomplishment. Wow, I felt like I could conquer the world. You can't imagine what that feeling did to this old heart that was all busted up.